Every world starts the same way, with nothing. We have no tools, so we chop trees to make axes. There's no gear, so we go caving. That's when the first night goes by, much faster than you'd expect. All the time is spent exploring, gathering what you can while you look for the perfect spot. And when you find that spot, it starts with an idea, and slowly it becomes home. So come with me as we build ours from scratch. Let me explain. What you're seeing right now is the end of a chapter. It's not the beginning. When I first landed here, this was just another island. Trees, dirt, nowhere to stand still and protect myself for more than a night. And at some point, I had to stop asking myself, where am I gonna go? And start asking, what's worth staying for? So I cleared space, slowly laying the foundation for what I knew was gonna be home. But there was something missing, something to tie everything together. Somewhere that I could get food and a spot to keep me cool, with an area for my resources and a place that feels lived in. And you know what? This place is starting to look lived in. My whole goal with this wasn't to do something absolutely crazy and massive. It's really just to create a space that's fun, cozy, but more so focused on the environment rather than the actual build itself. I think it all came out really, really great. And there's some fun little tricks that we did here, like this string, for example. I don't know if you know this, but if you put string over a crop, you can stop that crop from growing at the chosen grow spot. So we can have sugarcane that's 2 tall or 1 tall. We can also do this with bamboo, which I have a couple really cool ideas for. Man, I'm really, really enjoying everything so far. It's just, can you see this? Exactly. You can't see anything. It's just dirt and grass, sky, and a little bit of sand. Why is there's hail? We'll get rid of the sand. But this is ridiculous. This is the best sightline, and probably going to be the sightline we see the most, as this is our starter home. This is where all of our materials are going to be for a while. So I have an idea where I want to connect this ocean up over here to this little cove, and we can have a river, a little stream rolling through, and we'll build an environment around that. But we need some villagers, and there is a village out that direction. So we're going to go over there. We're going to get a couple villagers because we need some efficiency 5. We need fortune. We need silk touch. There's no way I'm going to mine up all the stone that I need to start terraforming this island with just a regular diamond pickaxe. So come with me. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a couple villagers. No. Come on, in the boat. You know you want to go. Oh my gosh. No. Come on, buddy. Is he? There we go. Holy. When did these guys get so smart? You ever been whitewater rafting before, Jim? Oh, I hope this works. Oh, we did it. I'm gonna get that out of the way right there. Come on. I think what I'm gonna do is get a second villager and then place him here, and then we'll just have to go one at a time. Where in the world are these villagers at? I hear them. What are you guys doing down there? You guys have been stuck down here? Here, come on guys. Let me take you to your new home. Yeah, I think you're gonna love it. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. You're just gonna, you know what, yeah, there we go. That actually worked out really well. Let's see if we can put a lead. Nice. Okay. And then we'll get in the boat with this one. We're doing it. I think the best thing is just to trap them in a hole in the side of our base. There you go. Big babies. You're so good at this. All right. I'll leave you to it. Bye-bye now. And I just realized that the baby can escape. There we go. Not anymore. All right, this is not going as planned. This is I'm not having fun. This isn't fun. That's your home. Don't you want to go? There, good boy. Good job. Great job, Mending. You're such a good listener. All right, come on. Get in there. Get down in. Go. Why aren't you listening to me? Huh? Get in the hole. In hole. Go hole. In hole. That's your home. Don't you want to go home? That's your new home. Answer me. Come on, buddy. Yeah. I don't even know if it's worth it. Just like that. Go. Great job, buddy. We did it. We have created much better working environments, much more controlled and much safer. No one's going to get hurt. Everyone has their own space. It's exactly what they need. So we already have mending. We did get efficiency 5 like we wanted. I might have hit him earlier, so rates are a little bit high right now, but we don't even have enough emeralds for that to begin with. Don't worry about this guy. He was just so excited for his new home. He wanted to go hang out there. We were also able to get a protection 4 villager. I'm not super focused on having the craziest gear. I just want great tools. So we actually got a Fortune 3 villager as well. So we can have a Silk Touch pickaxe and a Fortune 3 pickaxe. Oh, are they making babies? Wait, how are you making babies? There's no bed. Where's the baby gonna go? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Then we have our Unbreaking 3 No. Oh, what's going on, guys? Yeah, stay free. You're all gonna stay down there. That is your punishment. Thank you and goodbye. Looky at what we found. So I have those villagers and I have some books. I just don't have enough levels to actually get the enchantments from the books onto our tools. And so this is perfect. I know I'm gathering some resources right now, but I'm going to take some time and turn this into a mob grinder so we can get some levels and start getting some bone meal, because we do actually need this for what we're going to be building. Oh my gosh. No need to fight it. Yep. It's okay. I forgive you. All right? I know it won't happen again. It's done. I know it looks a little bit different than most because I wanted a way to automatically kill the skeleton so we could sort out further bones. So you can see here we're sorting for bones in 2 chests and arrows in the 3rd chest. And this is the overflow system. At some point, depending on how much we use this, I might just put in some kind of clock system to where we have a dispenser shooting all the overflow into lava. But right now, you know this works. It's an okay source for early game XP. It's going to get us through until we build a silverfish XP farm, but I did want to automate it so we could AFK because bone meal is so important for early game and farms later on down the road. And the way that it works is pretty simple. I took the same exact logic from a wool farm, which if you don't know, what happens is a grass block gets turned to a dirt block when a sheep eats the grass, and that actually sends a signal to the observer because it detects a change in the block state, which then fires off a dispenser that typically has shears. Here, we're just using a bucket because when the bucket gets dispensed, there's going to be a water stream that actually gets stopped by these fence gates right there. At the same time of this lever being pulled, these sticky pistons pull back the glass, they pull back the glass, and the water stream pushes them into this old campfire. So I'll show you right here. Sticky piston moves the block, and they're all going, and they're dying in the fire. Oh yes, it's glorious. I have a confession to make. I did have to build this twice because I did not know that if you don't build this with at least 16 blocks of the spawner, then they're not going to spawn. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there hoping, wishing a skeleton's going to spawn and not understand why it's not happening. So, you know what? I'm glad this is done and over with. Now we can finally get going on finishing the rest of our starter base. After a while, I realized a place we're staying for is the place that I nurture. It's the soil I sow into and the sand I sink my hands in. Working with sand is funny. Every grain is small, easy to move, temporary. But sand, it holds potential. Under heat, focused effort, that sand transforms into something entirely new. It's glass for windows, material for walls and bridges. The only difference is the decisions. Creativity is about reshaping what you already have. And this is the shape of staying. trees to give us shade, paths to guide us forward, and a stream to reflect. Well, we're done. As the sun rises, we have finally completed everything. At least everything for this episode. And I think we did a pretty great job. I'm loving all of the details we have throughout this area, from the variations in our block choice to how the actual cove here looks, all the way to the vegetation and the little tricks that we did with our string to get our bamboo at different heights. When it comes to the bamboo, I just bone mealed the bamboo till it got to the height that I wanted and placed the strings here on top. The other thing that I really love in this area are these cattails. I'm sure that you've seen these online somewhere, whether it's Pinterest or wherever you might look. It's just lime green glass panes with brown candles on top. And it really ties this whole I'm gonna drown. Okay, yep. Oh, thank you. Let's go back over here to safety. Yeah, we're gonna go to safety here. Yeah, it really just helps tie this place in. I didn't want to go too crazy with the cattails. I might add a couple more up here, but I think everything we have in here is just the right amount. We have a custom river all the way to the back here, and I did get lazy back here, but we don't got to talk about that right now. I think we're in a good place with this whole area. There were some pictures that I used for inspiration for the leaves and the drip leaves here. When you look at swamps, you'll actually see that the lily pads are all bunched together in one little area. And so I wanted to recreate that here, and I think we did it. Now on the custom beach, I got this from B-Dubs actually. I don't even know what season it was in Hermitcraft. One of the earlier seasons. I want to go through and add some slabs here. Probably some of these right over here. These smooth sandstone slabs just to kind of ease into the ocean. Also, I've seen this done before, the stone pressure plates and buttons to mimic rocks, but I've never really seen it done on sand with wood. So I wanted to take that same concept and bring it over here to our beach to add some variation and customize it some more. Didn't want to overdo it, just wanted to have some fun with it. And then of course we got some soul sand here just to add some life into some bubbles. It almost reminds me of a little hot spring, doesn't this look like a place you come in, just relax? Over here, I was playing around with different block palettes, mainly shading. When it comes to being underneath the bridge, it's going to be darker underneath and in little crooks and crevices where the bridge and the rock are going to cast a shadow. And then I added this here, so it looks like there's mud running down from the path above below, and it came out great. When you look at it from a distance, like back over here, which is where I mainly built it, this right here, the muddy mangrove roots, I added it there originally. Looking at it now, I should probably change it back to deep slate, but we're going to keep it. I really enjoy the imperfections in builds. It's a quiet reminder that there's room for improvement. And oh my goodness, speaking of improvement, this was extremely difficult to do. I don't know what it was. It was such a hassle to try and get the shaping down, and it took me hours. And it was to the point where I didn't even want to practice shading the leaves. I was just over it. I'm like, okay, you know what? We're just going to put this thing out because I was so tired of spending all that time on the trees. Now, when I look at them, I will say there are some things I would improve on. When I look at this here, I don't like how this is such a straight line, and it also just ends kind of abruptly and randomly. I have a problem when I look at reference photos. I'll see something and I'll start to follow it, and then I'll just go off on my own imagination. I think if I just spent a little bit more time following a reference photo, going leaf by leaf, branch by branch, we could get some better shapes here. But for what it is, I am obsessed. I think we did a great job, and it really ties the area in well. And it goes to show that the people on the island are building from the resources of what is actually on the island. And lastly, I want to walk you through what we did with the interiors here in our starter home, because this was a challenge. Believe it or not, this little space here was such a challenge to figure out, one, how we're going to fit everything in here, and two, make it make sense and somewhat functional. I was really inspired by Japanese cyberpunk and cyberpunk builds in general because they have so much detail in such little spaces, and it doesn't seem like it's wasted space. Everything has a purpose. So we have our bookshelf here, which is where we're going to be storing our excess books, some extra storage where we keep some of our items. Of course, we have our kitchen over here with extra barrels to store some more items, and then we have some fun little decoration blocks like beehives with buttons so it looks like drawers. And then you saw over here we have our storage where we're going to keep all of our building blocks. I do have a mod that allows me to turn blocks into mini blocks, and so I actually have this mangrove log here that I put into a stone cutter that gives us a mini mangrove log, and it looks like it's a piece of meat. So this is a little snack, you know, here on our counter that whenever we're hungry, we'll come up and take a quick bite. Well, that is everything for today. If you've made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you feel compelled, please leave a like, please leave a comment. It really does help. There was so many technical difficulties when trying to film this. I lost hours and hours and hours of footage, replay mod footage and gameplay with live commentary, and I had to go through and put together what I could with what I had. And it took so much more time than I anticipated to put this out, but it also made me so much more excited because through all the obstacles, the difficulties, and the headaches, I was able to find the beauty. And I know a lot of times in life, when we run into hardships and things get a little bit difficult, it's so easy to focus on the negative and the things that aren't working and everything that's going wrong. But if we look at what can go right and we choose to lean into the difficulties, we'll find that there's actually beauty. It's just that it's up to us to lean into the difficulty so we can find the beauty. So lean into the hard things because the only way to make it easy is to learn the skills from scratch. See you next time.